Hi, this is Susan Bradley Bortfield, creator and founder of Partners at Play and Soul Speakers Global. I am so excited because today I have with me an earth angel. She is such a beautiful spirit, and I have been drawn to her over this last year. She's a member of Partners at Play, and she just embodies love and kindness. And she just is so amazing and giving. She works with children in schools to teach them love and kindness. And she there's so much to say about her. Let me first introduce her, Karen Palmer. Hi, Karen. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, thank you so much, Susan.
Thank
I'm really, really excited to be here and really thank you so much. I really feel that kindness is the key that's going to change our entire human experience. And I really believe that this year, even 2018, is going to be the year that people realize that kindness is power. And we have it happening all over the planet in so many different ways. Just going into a little bit about the global kindness revolution, it's the most incredible way for people to get involved in knowing that they are part of the solution,
Right.
not just realizing that somebody else is going to come up with the answer. It's we're all in this together.
Okay, let me catch our audience up. Okay, so Karen is the co-founder and creator of Global Kindness Revolution. Is that correct? There's
Actually, I'm
so
the founder. I'm the
Oh,
founder.
she's the
Yeah.
founder. Well, the co-founder because her
I'm the
spirit
co-founder of
guides.
Spirituality Gone Wild.
Right,
Yeah.
she's the co-founder of Spirituality Gone Wild, which I love, and I that's where I see Karen all the time. I have been following her for about a year. She's a member of Partners at Play. There's so much about her. I'm going to try to do my best to just give you the tip of the iceberg. So she is actually has a song that is now being heard on 30 stations. She is up for Folk Song of the Year, and her song is Global Kindness Going Viral. And she over the last few years, since 2014, she has just really tuned in to her own inner wisdom and guidance, and she has connected to her angels and guides so that she can bring the message of kindness and love to billions of people around the world. Now, there is so much more about her, but I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to let, as we go in our conversation, we will reveal more. And let me just say that I had no choice but to interview Karen because those of you who know me know I always follow my guidance. I always follow my guidance. That's how I roll. I wake up, I say good morning to my guides, my angels, and I say, okay, what's up for today, right? And she just keeps coming into my awareness. My guides are like, you two have got to get together. So I am so excited to have her as a guest. Okay, so let's start. I mean, there is so much. My page is full. Like I have, I'm like, okay, she is just doing so much, and she is everywhere, and she is love, and she is kind. And so I just want to thank you first for being a member of Partners at Play. And you were part of the promotion I did back in the fall. And that was my first point of contact with you, but this is actually the first time we had the opportunity to speak, right?
I know, it's
So
so cool.
so energetically, we were just drawn together and felt that pull. So thank you very much for saying yes to me.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to have you here. So where do we start?
Well, I think probably we start where it kind of all started for me was, first of all, I am an angelic messenger. I am a divine channel of love and light and also a spiritual medium. And so the way that we are connecting is not surprising to me at all. The reason that your guides and my guides have been together and having, conversations and making sure that this occurred, I believe you're part of the Council of Kindness also. You see, I made a wish in 2014 for global kindness to go viral. I made this wish because I had the experience of having the life of my dreams come true. I learned how to utilize the universal laws and spiritual principles and got myself out of being homeless, a drug addict, being in abusive relationships, and I got myself out of all of those experiences through the love and understanding of a puppy.
Oh, yes. Oh, she
I'm
also,
an animal communicator.
she is an animal communicator. Um, so, so you are a miracle, right? And I think that's what drew me to you as well, because neither one of us had it easy growing up, and being connected as a child and not understanding, right? Not understanding that, but having it, you know, so let's first talk about, you know, what what happened. Like the wish happened, but what happened where you, just because you were homeless, you were in an abusive relationship, you were, you know, doing drugs and alcohol at your lowest point, what was it that changed for you?
I was actually reading 3 books, and those 3 books were Wayne Dyer's book, You'll See It When You Believe It, Louise Hay's book,
Oh, I just got
You Can Heal Your Life, and Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And so I was living out of my little white Hyundai car. Now, I had already been, like I said, I came into the world wide awake with my spiritual gifts intact, with all of my multisensory gifts. I was an animal communicator as a child and an angel communicator as a child. And I used being with the animals and the angels as an escape. So that led me to using drugs and alcohol as an escape in the physical human experience. And I understand it now. I can really understand it. And that's why I work with teenage girls and teenage boys. And I'm very passionate about working with middle school children so that they don't get geared off away from their true self, and so that I work with children so that they can really navigate these spiritual gifts, because all children are wide awake now. They've all come in and they all have these incredible gifts. And people who label their children with autism and ADHD, they are not really seeing their magnificence. And so
Rip off the label.
yeah, rip
But
off those labels. And so anyway, that was my this was my childhood experience. And when I was homeless and I was reading these books, I read a sentence that was by Albert Einstein that said, the most important question you can ask yourself is, do I live in a friendly or a hostile universe? Well, at that point, I was seeing the world as hostile because I had only witnessed that experience. And when I looked at these books and I started to really see that I was creating this experience,
Yeah.
that, I had been carrying these bags. I'm from Massachusetts. I was,
Me too.
I
Me
know, I know.
too.
So I came out to California when I was younger, and when I left a very abusive relationship. I was in a very abusive relationship from when I was 15 until I was 21 years old. And in that relationship, I was with somebody who was an atheist, who was
Oh,
very much testing me of my gifts. And it really got me to the point where I doubted myself, and I really didn't believe in myself anymore. And I was really believing more of what he saw in me than seeing my own magnificence. And I was blaming him, and I was, using him as an excuse even after I got out of the relationship. And then I was recreating the relationships over and over again. And it wasn't until I saw that sentence and I realized, wow, I can change this, and
yes,
it was
yes,
so
yes.
empowering. And in that moment, I said, okay, I'm going to do this like a science experiment, because really I didn't believe it at the time. I was just like, well, yeah, I do kind of see it as hostile, but everybody sees it as hostile. So, what's he even talking about? And then I started saying, okay, I'm going to look at myself through the eyes of my puppy. I'm going to see myself with unconditional love.
Oh,
I'm gonna try what Louise Hay said in her book. I'm gonna try these affirmations. I'm gonna give this the old college shot, And
you had nothing to
I
lose.
had nothing to lose, and I was really excited about understanding the abundance and prosperity principles. I was fascinated by it. I was so open to learning about it, especially Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, because I had
Yes.
always had a burning desire to help the world. I was always cleaning up litter. I was always volunteering at senior centers. I was always singing and performing and making up shows. And I knew I was, destined for something really, really amazing. But I wasn't understanding how to navigate these energies, and I didn't know how to navigate them. So I decided to, like I said, as a science experiment, I just started to look at how my dog looked at me. She looked at me with so much love. And she had been abused, and I was able to rescue her, and I was able to rescue her on the last day before she was going to be put to sleep. So that's why I named her Lucky, my lucky girl. And she taught me about living in the moment and just spreading joy, and that was what the animals had come here to teach us. And that what if every human understood that was what we are here for? What would this world be like if we knew that we're here to be unconditional, be forgiving, be in the moment, and just be joy? That's what the animals.
Yes.
That's what they've made it so clear, and they asked me to be their messenger. When she left her physical body, she asked me to continue this message. That's down the line, but when I was in the car, I made the wish. I started seeing that pattern, and I saw the pattern, and I said, okay, I'm going to wish that this is a friendly world. I'm going to see it. I'm going to start wishing. I'm going to wish. First, I'm going to wish for it to be friendly. Then I'm going to start seeing it being friendly. And it happened. Susan, it happened like it happened. It happened so fast. Strangers were coming up and bringing me food and my dog food and offering to let me go use their shower and stay on their couch.
Wow.
And a wonderful couple offered
Oh.
for me to come and work at their restaurant, and that my dog could be on the patio while I got off the streets. So I got off the streets with the love of strangers, with the kindness of
Yes.
strangers, with the loving kindness of strangers.
Oh my
So,
goodness. Let's
so
just sit here for a minute because wow, right? Wow.
that's the miracle, right? So that was so fast forward, to my 20-year anniversary with my husband and my birthday, and my husband surprised me and took us to Las Vegas, and flew my best friend from Massachusetts out and surprised
Oh,
me. And my sister drove out from California, and there was this big celebration for me, just to celebrate me, to celebrate my birthday. And all of this, I looked around. We were staying in the New York
and
hotel,
and you never were celebrated.
and I never was celebrated. And so I was really excited to get have this experience. And I was so grateful. And when they brought the cake and they put the cake in front of me and said, make your wish, out came my mouth. I wish that global kindness would go viral.
Oh,
I wish I could teach people the principles that I learned so that the world could see their own magnificence, and the world could see these amazing organizations and businesses and people and individuals who were spreading kindness but weren't getting any recognition. And I felt that so strongly. And when I made that wish, it was like the movie Big. Remember Big? He
yes, with
makes the
Tom
wish,
Hanks.
and the
Yes.
sultan spins around, and the fairy dust goes everywhere. I felt that. I felt
I,
like it opened up the floodgates from
and
the
there's
other side.
people watching might not understand, but there is so much love in this world, so much more love than there is, anger or hate
It just
or
isn't it's just, there's no media for it. And this is
right.
what they told me. They said, you're going to be mindful media mom. And I was like, I'm going to be what? You're going to be mindful media mom. And you're going to start writing rhymes. You're going to be like the modern mystical Mr. Rogers and Dr. Seuss and Dr. Doolittle. And that's what you're going to do. And you're going to be somebody who everyone can relate to. And that's what they told me. They said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to start. And I had absolutely the worst fear of public speaking. I learned how to do emotional freedom tapping, technique, and I started tapping, and so I'm over that. And then I became a neuro-linguistic programmer because I had to rewire my brain to be ready for this,
Right.
to be ready to do what they were giving me. You see, the angels explained to me, and this is something that I think everyone can really relate to, is that a vision gets placed in our heart, and it's really, really big. And
Mm-hmm.
it's our human self has to grow into it.
Right,
Our
right.
spiritual self is ready to jump right in. Our spiritual higher self, our true self, is ready to manifest it right then and there. But our human self, has to go through the hoops. We have to jump through the hula hoops. I call them the hula hoops. We have to pay attention
That's
to
why
what's in the
I
hula
love
hoop.
her. It's like, because I love to play, and so does
Yeah,
Karen, right?
yeah,
So it's funny because I was interviewed the other day, and I was asked what's my favorite quote, and I'm like, well, because I love to play, I love Dr. Seuss, right? Dr. Seuss was so awake, and yes, so our human self does need to catch up because our spiritual self has already been there, done that, and
right.
ready to go. And so when we can just release the fear and just trust, right? It's about you said yes and then trusted that you would be shown the how.
Yeah, I let go of the how and was ready for the wow. And that
I
was
love that.
something that they, kind of gave me as a really awesome way for me, because I was always saying, well, how am I going to do that? Well, how am I going to do that? And they were saying, just show up and smile. That's all you got to do. Show up and smile, and we'll take care of all the other details. And, it was amazing because, this is going back. If you look at my story, if you look at the story from when I was homeless, from that point, going back when I first started dating my husband before we got married, and when I got pregnant and decided to have my beautiful daughter, I was so passionate about wanting to help the earth, and that was my burning desire, that I designed a board game that's called Let's Save Our Earth. And when I started my own nonprofit organization, I started going into the schools and created our own local our local Earth Day, so that we could. There was no celebrations happening for Earth Day at that point, and this was 16 years ago, going back 16 years ago. And when my daughter was in kindergarten, there were no programs that had anything like what we're even talking about. I was that mom. I was that mom who was I wanted to bring in school gardens. I brought in recycling. I taught about composting. I brought all of these things to the schools. So I knew that I'm just giving a little bit of feedback, a little bit of backstory, because when I started the Global Kindness Revolution, they kept showing me, you've already done this. You human, you need more confirmation, and you've already done this. And so, that was the fun part for me, was then I started realizing, okay, I don't know anything about technology. I don't know anything about, social media. I don't know anything about this stuff, but let's just have fun with it. Let's see let's get curious, not condemning. Let's not condemn ourselves to, I don't know this. Instead, let's just get curious and see, okay. And so I did. I got real curious, and I became a social media expert. I became the go-to person for sacred social media.
That's so awesome. I just want to bring attention to this, because, we all start at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And what's awesome about Karen, and even in my email to her, I said, I don't do time, and I don't do rules, and I don't do anything. And she just trusted to show up, right? And that's what it's about. It's about saying yes and then allowing the how to show up. I was deathly afraid of doing video, deathly afraid. Like if the camera went on, I was like,
I didn't know where to look. At first I didn't know where to look. I was like, you watch my first couple of years of video, and I'm still like talking, and I'm up, and I'm showing stuff, and
I have to admit, I still look up, because when I'm receiving, because it's hard sometimes to talk when you're receiving information too at the same time.
What's so beautiful? Yeah, what's so beautiful about that is that when we, allow the energy of what wants to be expressed to come through us, then we just have that trust, and we're not trying to control things. And life to me is all about just having that remembrance that I am pure love, and that I am pure joy, and that I am magnificent. And that if I can bring that to each person that I get to spend time with, it really, really is my burning desire. That is what this whole global kindness revolution really was all about. The same thing with bringing all of this to the schools. I want what my daughter has for every child on this planet. My daughter was 12 years old, and she had made her vision board. And from 12 to 19 years old, she accomplished everything that was on her vision board.
That's awesome.
12 to 19 years old. And she's living her dream life. Right now she's in Las Vegas setting up fashion shows. She went through fashion school, and she gets to market, and she gets to do the things that she loves. And I raised her that way. Right. I raised her to believe that she, when she was 4 years old, I'll never forget the moment when we were in the grocery store, and my daughter was at the counter, and the clerk said, "Oh my gosh, you are so beautiful. What are you going to be when you grow up?" And she looked at him, and she went, "Oh, I'm going to be everything, but not all at once."
I love that, right? So
There was no limit to her. There was no limit.
Right.
And that's
There's
what I
no
want for
limit.
every that's what
Exactly.
I want for every child on the planet, no matter how old or young they think they are. For
Right.
every child,
We are infinite. We
we are
are
limitless.
limitless. We are amazing and beautiful. And it's all about just saying yes and trusting the how will come, right? That tr- say yes and the wow, right? The
Yeah,
wow.
let go of the how and be
Let
ready
go of the
for the
how and get ready for the
yeah.
wow,
I
right?
think
And
that
it's so,
everything has to be a rhyme with me. That's why I rhyme everything
I
so that
love
I can
that.
easily, go back
Remember.
into my tool belt, and I can go right into my tools so that when I do get out of alignment with my true self and I'm stepping away from my true self, I know in that moment, like as soon as I feel overwhelmed, as soon as I feel like I'm struggling or I'm stressing, I know that I've stepped away and that I can step back. And that that's the empowerment. And that was why that's why I designed, well, coloring books and designed moving into, as we move on, I designed a board game. I started going into the schools. I started organizing events and I started learning all about how to do a lot on land. But I didn't understand anything about the online businesses. But I was really open and fascinated, and I allowed myself to have it be playful and fun.
Right. Don't you love that we're so connected to everyone around the world now?
Yeah,
It
it's
is so,
it's global.
it's
It's so cool. We
awesome.
have a global family. That's what we
Yes.
have, this global family that is, at our fingertips. All we have to do is type in, I'm having a tough moment right now. I need some support. And you can find somebody who can support you.
Yes,
And that's the beauty of, this new earth experience. We're having this new earth, you know new way of being in this earth and co-creating heaven on earth.
exactly, because everything is choice and the all the old rules are now falling away, right? We're seeing that they don't work. They're not working. They haven't worked for a long time. And we used to look outside of ourselves and we used to be told what to believe. We used to be told what to think. We used to be told how to be. And now we're realizing that it's just the opposite. We are 100% responsible for our own happiness, and we can be, do, or have anything we want. And if you're not happy, it just means you're out of alignment. And all you have to do is decide what's going to make you happy, and you can come back, right? Do what makes you happy. Now, you do, like every single day, you have made the conscious decision to show up authentically, and you're very mindful of the energy that you put into the world with every experience, with every single person that you touch, right? So, I want to talk right now about your song because that's really exciting, right? You are going to be on the red carpet. Your song has been nominated for Folk Song of the Year. And it, this is just one example of how open to all sorts of possibilities, right? I mean, let's talk about this. In 2014, you were feeling hopeless, and now it's only the beginning of 2018, and you have everything. You're I mean, you're so beautiful and your business is growing and the right relationships are coming in and all you're doing is expressing your truth. and
Mhm.
being who you are and being open to the messages that come forward, and then having the courage to share, right? It's just all about being the truth of who you are. And you have just consciously done that over these last couple of years. So now you have 3 books, best-selling books. You have a song that's nominated for the Song of the Year. You have Global Kindness Revolution. You have Spirituality Gone Wild. You know, you are right now doing a 21-day challenge, and then you are opening a membership. I mean, you have it going on, right? And it's just, when I'm talking to you, I just can feel the aliveness within you, right? The
Gratitude.
aliveness.
There's so much gratitude for it all. You know, we have to go to the extreme of who we aren't sometimes to remember who we really are. And once we really remember who we are, it can't be taken away from us. So I realize now, as I can look back with forgiveness in my heart, and now that I can really look back at the experiences that I attracted, that I was, you know, very much co-creating, and I can look at that from a place of responsibility, not blame,
Yes,
but the ability
exactly.
to respond to what was happening, you know. And now I realize that I can do that with joy. I don't
Yeah.
have to learn through pain. I can learn through joy. And the
Yeah.
more that I get to experience that with people and with I work with animals. Also, I have my nonprofit organization is dedicated to bringing awareness to animal advocacy. So I work with animal rescue. See, when I work with animal rescue, I have this gift that when I put my hand on the animal that has been abused, I'm able to see the pictures clairvoyantly and really witness, as a compassionate witness, what they've been through so that they feel seen, heard, and validated. And within 2 weeks, they're back into their greatness again. They're back into their pure love and pure joy. And that's again what the animals asked me to be a messenger for, is that these animals are here to teach us
Yeah.
that this is what it's all about for the human experience also, that the animals are, you know, our spiritual guides, they're our spiritual teachers, and they have come to us for a very specific spiritual lesson. That's what this book is all about. When I wrote, this is my lucky girl on the cover here.
Oh, and that's about your dog.
Yeah, and this was the story of myself going from self-loathing to self-loving. And this is the story of when I was homeless. This I published this in 2012. It was my first bestseller in animal rights. And this is learn why your pets were guided to you. So this was my first channeled writing that I had. And that was, you know, a real stretch for my human self to allow my automatic writing to be published. That was a huge. This is why I talk about the most empowering thing that you can do is find your authentic voice and then share it globally. And
Yes.
when you truly find your authentic voice, there is nothing that can stop you, because nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. And so when you are in your truth and you are speaking your authentic truth and your authentic voice has come out,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I wrote the song. That's how I found the music studio to record the song. I had no idea how to sing. I had no idea. I had no vocal lessons. I started taking vocal lessons. I had always sung my whole life. My dad's a musician, so I grew up around music, but I had never taken any professional lessons. And when this started happening in 2014, and I started getting these messages, and I started getting, messages from the Council of Kindness and from the guides that were these non-physical teachers were saying, you're going to take the masses into a whole new way of hearing conscious music. You're going to take music to a whole different experience. You're going to take concerts. You're going to be doing conscious concerts that are going to be all about dance and movement and singing and connection and being in the oneness. And, they said that to me. And of course, I was like, well, I don't see, how that's going to happen. But I will trust that there is a possibility that I can reach out to my friend who has a music studio. I started taking singing lessons with him, and then I started paying to record, and I recorded all kinds of different songs. And this one was a channeled song. See, I had been watching all of the situations going on in the world, and I knew that kindness was the answer, but I didn't know how to reach the masses. Here I am, this mom, living in a small town, having no real relations for using social media at the time, and not knowing what the next step is. And the angels were really, really clear that all I needed to do was show up and smile. And they would give me the words, they would give me what I needed. And so I started trusting that. And that was when I started channeling and just allowing the channel to come through, and the music came through. And I was watching, Prince EA, and they were having all these people were doing the ice bucket challenges and all these different things. And I said, what if I challenge people to be kind? What if I started challenging? This was not being done at all in 2014, and right. It really didn't. It did take off, because when I started making the videos, people started sending information in from all over the world about the kind things that they were doing in their corner of the world. And that's how I got started doing, it was called the Globally Good Show. And I was on Love in Action TV. I was one of the hosts on a channel called Love in Action TV.
People are craving to know the good stuff, right?
You want to hear it.
Right. Many of us are just done with hearing the doom and gloom, and we want to, like you had that experience of, do you live in a hostile world or do you live in a kind world? We're done with the hostility, and we want to live in the kind world, right? So we have consciously shifted our focus to see what is good in the world. So I'm not surprised at how well your show did, because people just want to hear the good stuff. They want it bad. And I hope that mainstream media catches on to that and really starts to show more of that. So your song is, when are they honoring your song and talk about?
It's April 18th.
Wow, April 18th. That's so excited. And your song is like on 30 stations now, right? Yeah. How exciting is that? So
yeah, and then the next part of that, after the song came through, was the book came through, Global Kindness Going Viral, and they said it's going to be a bestseller. You're going to, just do it. And they started showing me in my sleep time, in my dream time, astral travel. And they were showing me what this could possibly, what the possibilities were, and how I could truly, truly help children in third world countries, and how I could really be a part of this incredible, incredible movement that was happening on the planet. And so I said yes. And I started to really see the benefits of it. And I started reading a book by Dr. David Hawkins that was Power versus
Oh,
Force.
I love that book. Yes.
Yeah, and he says in it that one person who's vibrating with love in their heart, with peace on their mind, with kindness in their actions, is counterbalancing 750,000 people who are in the low vibration of fear, because fear is fragmented energy. It's not real. It's false evidence appearing real. When I
Yeah.
heard that statistic, I realized I needed to bring global meditation to the masses. And I am a Kundalini yoga instructor. So I wanted to bring the mantras, the mudras, I wanted to bring ancient wisdom to these modern times. I wanted to bring ancient wisdom to each person's day-to-day life so that they could really see the breakthroughs in their own human experience.
So it's crazy of how many things and how much stuff you're doing. Like, where do you get your energy? Because
I really believe it's the Kundalini. I really do believe I'm connected. I'm so connected in with my true self. And I really know. I trust and I allow and I know how to move in the direction of my vision. And I don't pay any attention to the things that people tell me I can't do. I don't pay any attention. I don't even give it a look in their
right,
direction.
me too.
And, and, and I know, see, and this is why I've just joined forces with Gaia Field Project, which is a huge, beautiful movement that is happening on the planet that is really bringing the subtle energies and subtle activism to the masses. And they just asked me to be their social media person. So that is a huge
that
thing.
that is huge. That
I'm
is
also the social media person for We the World, which is another awesome organization. So when we see our own worth, when we see our own value, everyone else starts to see it also, but it has to start with us. We have to first find the authentic voice,
right.
then we need to share it globally. And
Yeah.
when we share it globally, we get out of that fear of visibility and we clear all of those
And into the
negativity blocks that tell us nobody's going to listen anyway. Believe me, I heard that voice over and over again when I started doing video. The first video that I did, we had about 10 people in the video, when I started on Periscope. And I was grateful for those 10 people, because those 10 people became 100 people, and then they became 1,000 people. And now we have thousands, tens of thousands of people. And now with this global Gaia Field project, we're going to reach millions and
yeah.
soon billions.
That's
And
so amazing. Now, because we have talked about we've gone in so many different directions, right? So I just want to kind of take a pause for just a second. And I'm just wanting to take a second because you, I have never met anybody at all that is so involved in so many projects and just
I get the love
it's,
glasses.
it is
I get
still
my love glasses. I
there
get my
you
hair
go.
glasses. I am a brand ambassador for all of the love and goodness and all of the.
Yes.
If somebody comes to me and asks me to help them, I love to help anybody who has a vision, love that vision into reality. And so, yeah, I love the Love Glasses Revolution.com, No Judgment, Just Love.com. I'm part of all of these movements and I'm part of helping them to grow, because that is who I am at my essence.
Right. And I think that's what we need to, like, that's why I want to pause and just really take in that you consciously just wake up every single day and decide to be part of the solution, to be
How
part
can
of,
I help? You know, well,
right.
that's my song. Can I sing the song for you?
Yes,
Because
I would love that.
the words are really basically how I live my life. And and I realized this when the song was coming through me. And I realized that, you know, global kindness going viral was my wish to see global kindness. But then I realized that I was global kindness going viral, and that I had to really show up to be the embodiment of global kindness going viral. And that's how the song came through, because
I
I
would
was,
love to hear your song. I would love to hear your song.
okay, okay. If we all took the time to care, there'd be no one alone out there. We're all in this together, connecting hearts in every weather. Play your part, make a start, share your heart, spread it wide. Global kindness going viral now. Share the love, that is how we will have kindness now. Share a message of hope and joy. Global kindness, it's possible today. Spreading kindness, touching hearts in every way. Global kindness, it's easy to start. Global kindness, just open up your heart. Open up your heart. Open up your heart. We're bringing kindness back. We're bringing kindness back. We're bringing kindness back. We're bringing kindness back. Because kindness pumps you up. Kindness pumps you up. It's growing and growing the more we speak. Kindness, compassion, it's at its peak. I challenge you. You challenge me. We are one global family. There's unity in all we seek. So spread this wide and find a way. Do something kind every day.
Oh,
Global kindness going viral today. Spreading kindness. It's just the only way. Global kindness. It's easy to start. Global kindness. Just open up your heart. That's it.
oh, I love it. I love it. I love
And
it.
then
I
just
love it.
ask yourself every moment, how can I be more kind? How can I be more kind to myself, which will fill my cup, which will fill my cup to overflowing so that I can be more kind to my family? How can I be more kind to my home, to my garden, to my next door neighbor, to my community? How can I bring this kindness in a viral experience, beginning with inner peace?
Right. It's just that decision. It's just deciding of how you want to show up in the world, right?
Absolutely.
And then just shine like only you can.
Yeah,
Only
and
you
no apologies. Just be as bright as you
ah,
possibly
let's
can.
say
And
that again.
don't and really don't let anybody else dim your light, because
No.
honestly, the people who are in your vicinity, that are in your life, are really, really part of your soul contract. They're part of your soul experience. And when you are your magnificent self and you are true to being who you are, they will start to come back into alignment with who they are. And if they don't, then you won't have to deal with it anymore, because it won't be an issue, because they will not be in your time-space reality.
And that's so true, right?
And
And
everyone's awakening. Yeah, everyone's awakening in their own time space reality. Even if they're in your own home, even if it's your sister or your brother, your mother, your father, everyone is awakening in their own time space reality. So don't get caught up in anyone else's human experience. None of your business. It's none
right,
of your business.
and that is so true. We came here to shine in our own way, and so did your sister, so did your brother, so did your mother. You were never born to come and hold the light for somebody else. You came here to be who you are, to shine your light like only you can. Be completely who you are. I know for me, I tried and tried to be perfect, to be, this somebody else, right? And when I just decided to be who I am in an authentic and true way, that's when I became accepted and loved completely for who I am because I loved myself.
Right.
I
And the universe can only do one thing. It can only give you evidence of what you believe about yourself. You
right.
So it's that simple. It's really, one of my biggest lessons had to be with the people pleasing. I was addicted to people pleasing. I was to the point where I was always looking for ways that I could please more people. And then I got cervical cancer. I was diagnosed with cervical
Oh my
cancer.
goodness.
And when I healed myself completely naturally with food and spirit and with the guidance. And my doctor actually asks me to go talk to other people and say, what she does this woo woo stuff. I don't know what she does, but she does. She's all healed. But anyway, when I got the cervical cancer, I got a really clear message that I had not been making myself a priority. I hadn't been doing my yoga. I hadn't been meditating. I was taking care of my mother-in-law. I had moved in. My mother-in-law was very ill, and we moved into her home, and I was her main caregiver for 10 years before she passed on. And I wasn't giving to myself. And if I
Yeah.
didn't give to myself, I didn't have anything to give anybody else. So I was giving from an empty cup. And when I give from an empty cup, I get depleted and I get diseased. And that's when,
Yes, and let's just
so I
talk.
don't let that happen anymore.
Right, right, because
I keep filling my cup.
I was the rescuer,
Yeah.
right? If somebody was in trouble, I like dropped everything, my whole life, and I ran to the rescue. And
Yeah.
it was like an addiction
Yeah.
to be everybody's savior, right? But I realized my
There
own.
was, there was that underlining belief that I was unworthy. And that's why I was always looking for people to please, because I wanted
Exactly.
somebody to say, oh, look at what Karen's done. Oh, look at what, I was like the martyr. Like I was like,
Yeah.
here, give me another pillow, put another pillow on and I couldn't see over my eyes.
But but let's get clear. What happens when you don't honor yourself and you just try to please everybody else? Let's get clear. You can never please everybody. And because you're putting that vibration out that you're not worthy enough, that you have to make sure everybody else is happy and not take care of your own needs, it's going to show up in your life in the form of cancer and in the form of when you take one misstep, then nobody's happy and everybody blames you because you set yourself up for that. So be you. Be completely authentic to who you are. Stand in your own truth. There's a reason there's no two stones the same, no two sunsets the same, no two people the same. It's by design. You did not choose this experience to come in and make other people happy. You came here to shine your own light. And in doing that, you shine your light upon the world, and you just naturally bring peace and joy to those around you. It's not something that you're trying. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're not here to try anyway. We're here to experience. We came here to experience, and we got caught up in the illusion of the separateness. We got confused into the illusion of this not enoughness and this scarcity and this lack. And then when we come back home and we come back to our awakened heart and we come back to our realized soul, I always say in my classes, we have the illumined mind, the awakened heart, and the realized soul. And when we are our realized soul, it's just like what you were saying. We wake up and we're looking, how can I serve? And we're not looking, how can I serve so that I am, being, a doormat, that I'm being a doormat. We are, how can I serve? Because I am so valuable, and I have so much value that I can share with this world, that how may I serve this opportunity that's being presented to me, that the divine has brought me this divine assignment, like us right now. This is a divine assignment. I know it's a divine assignment. I know this isn't the last time we'll be talking. I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities that we are going to expand and explore together. And I know that this is, what a beautiful, beautiful assignment. And how grateful can we be about how powerful we are that we attracted this to each other. That we were worthy enough to say, you know what, I'm going to reach out to her. The same thing for me with the Gaia Field Project. I said, I'm worthy enough. I'm going to reach out to him. And when I did, he said I was an answer to his prayer.
Yes,
he saw my worth. And he could see my magnificence. And that was the most powerful experience of these 21 days of that abundance stories. And I use the hashtags. I use hashtags for awakening. So I use hashtags. I have keep shining. I have hashtag only love is real. I have hashtag global kindness. So I use hashtags to awaken, and using hashtags on Instagram, on Facebook, using Instagram, Twitter, bringing all of these modalities together. And see, people don't think of social media as a modality. They don't see it as the tool, the spiritual tool that it is. And so many people just flow it around, and they don't realize that when they are putting out negative vibrations, they are adding to the illusion. And when you add to the illusion, you're making the illusion that much more real to other people. Now, I don't get caught in the illusion anymore. No. I just don't let that illusion have the effect anymore. But I do have compassion for people who have been, really looped in. They get looped in, and and then they ruminate on all the things that like if I was sitting around and saying all these painful experiences that happened to me. Oh, poor me, I had cervical cancer. Oh, poor me. No wonder I don't get out of bed, no wonder I don't bother, and then people say, well, how do you have so much energy? And how even the kids are saying, you're just like us.
You are like a little, you seriously have like
I was so excited. I was in the classroom, and the teacher, I had my little phone, and I was going to play the song on my phone, and I had a little speaker that was attached to the phone, and the teacher said, oh, you know what, I have my Mac all set up. If you want, we can show it on the big screen. I went crazy. I was really, oh my God. See the whole music video. You guys can see the music video. And the kids were so, like, one little boy goes, you're just like us. You have the same, how come you have the same energy as us kids? And I said, because I'm in that vibration of joy, and joy is contagious.
Joy is contagious, and
And
that's
so
what
is
drew me
kindness.
in. I just love playing with you so much. And um, oh my God, we still have like so many things to talk about, but it's like the end of our time coming. Um,
Well,
well,
thank you so much for
for
having
this
me.
for this interview, your song is amazing, and I love it, and I want a copy of it. So how do we get a copy of your song? How can we buy your song?
Well, actually, right now, you can, the best way that you can get it is through my coloring book. And you can get my Global Kindness Going Viral Empowering Coloring Book series. And that's at globalkindnesstv.org/color.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna
then you get the download for free from SoundCloud. So you get the coloring book, and then you also get the all the information about No Judgment, Just Love, the Love Glasses Revolution, the Love Foundation,
I
Global
need to
Love.
get me some love
Yeah,
glasses.
aren't they the coolest?
They are so
They're just the
fun.
coolest. And I wear them everywhere, and I get all kinds of compliments, and people ask me, where did you get those? So now I have my own little cards made up. I'm grateful for you.
Oh, I have cards that say I always say I have a message for you, and it says
Yeah,
you are love and light.
yes, you are
Yeah.
living my, oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Because in truth, we are spirit having this
Yeah,
human experience. So the fear, the worry, the doubt, that's just part of the experience. It's not the truth of who you are.
yeah, have
But
fun with it. Have
have,
fun with your emotions. That's what they said to me. The angels, Archangel Raziel is really a fun, really fun angel to connect with, because Archangel Raziel helps us to let go of our old stories, our childhood traumas, let go of those old beliefs, old limiting beliefs, and just be in this moment. In this moment, we are fully present with one another. We are heart to heart connected. And I am so grateful to you.
I'm
And I am, so grateful for this moment. And there is no other moment, because I'm not looking at what I need to do in a half hour from now. I'm not thinking about what I didn't do and what, luckily I made sure you got to be really fully present. And the
yeah,
angels have made it really clear to me that we get to have this human experience. The angels don't have a human ego. They've never had the human experience. And we chose to come here to have this human experience and to be part of the illusion of the duality. But we are not the duality. We are lost. A lot of the people have lost their way in the illusion,
yeah,
have believed more of the duality than believed in their own heart. And when you drop out of your distracted head into
right.
your awakened heart, you live a divine life.
This is what I always say. So, Karen, if you fell down and had amnesia, would you still be you? If you,
Absolutely. Yeah. I
right.
mean, absolutely.
So you're still spirit, you just forgot, right? But it doesn't change who you really are. You're still spirit. And you came here to play on this earth and to have fun and joy and have this journey of ebbs and flows and just find your way. It's a journey to finding who you really are once again and then living from that authentic space, right? The ego, that fear, doubt, worry, it's only part of the experience. It's not your truth.
Yes.
So don't give it that power. Don't give it that power. Just free yourself.
Right.
Just be who you are, because you are amazing. You are love. You are magnificent. And you are infinite, infinite. And everything is possible. As you can see with Karen, she's doing so much. I have no idea how we're going to recap everything. I'm going to put all the links to connect with Karen on top of this video or below this video, but I'll make sure that I put all the links so you can connect and play with Karen in the energy of joy and the energy of kindness and the energy of love. And I am just so honored that Karen said yes, even though I said I don't do time, I don't do editing, I don't do rules. We just gonna get on here and have a beautiful conversation and allow it to happen in the way that it's meant to, and just trust. And that's what Karen is about. She wakes up every day and she just trusts, and she just allows, and she just shows up in the world in joy and in kindness, and she just shines her amazing, beautiful light, and she doesn't worry about what other people think. And that's why she is just radiating love and joy, and so many amazing things are going to happen as a result of you just choosing to be who you are. I love it. Love, love, love it. I love your song. I love you. I love everything about you. I just feel, so blessed and so, grateful to being connected to you. Thank you for saying yes to me. Thank you for trusting me to show up for you. And I hope you come and play with me again very soon.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, this experience is all about really the evolution of that growth. That's what Spirituality Gone Wild is all about, is that when we are in that playful gratitude vibration, spirituality does go wild, and we are not in those limits. We are not in the box anymore. We are beautiful. And a lot of times ego will tell us that we don't have time for that, or I don't have time for that. But we are timeless beings, and so it's so funny when our ego tries to trick us into believing that we don't have time for that. Like, I don't have time to help that person. I don't have time. But really, truthfully, you are timeless. And so there's ways that you can be of service, and there's ways, and you just need to, get out of that distracted part of your mind, and just follow your breath, bringing your hand to your heart. When you bring your hands to your heart, you actually neutralize the brain so that the brain can just quiet for a minute. And then we enter just a couple breaths, and we are in the unified field. We're in the field, the beautiful field where there is no right and wrong, the field where we are all one, the place where we play in that infinite playground that we all know has always been available to us. We always had this available. And all it takes is a couple of breaths, and we're there again.
Oh, it just feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels so good. And that's right. Don't make yourself wrong. Just be you, because you're already great at that. Right?
Nobody can do it better than you.
Right, right.
You can be the best you possible, and you don't have to worry about what other people are doing, because really it's none of your business. Just mind your own vibration. If you mind your own vibration, like I said, I always keep my hula hoop. I love the visual of my hula hoop, and I have it with me right here on the side, and I always remind myself, who's in my hula hoop right now? What am I allowing into my vibration?
Yes.
Because
yes. Yes.
if you really pay attention to who's in your hula hoop, who you've been allowing in your vibration, and you mind that vibration, and you call in your angels. I call in Archangel Michael to the left, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below. Archangel Michael, stay with me wherever I go. And he's here, and he's right here, and he's putting this beautiful blue orb of protection around this beautiful time-space reality. And there is no limit to this beautiful ball and this orb of protection. And I can feel him just deflecting away any energies that are not for our highest good, and just really magnetizing the magnificence of who we really are, so that everyone is feeling that live activation, is feeling that live transmission
I
in
just
just this moment.
I love those energetic spiritual hugs, right? Because you feel the warmth all over your body. I love that. And I just received that. And I'm just like, oh, yes. Thank you for saying yes to playing with me. I just said, come play with me, Karen. And this is the first time we ever met, but this will not be the last. I just so honor you for who you are. Is there any anything, like, if you could say one thing to someone that's in a tough space, right? If you could say anything to somebody who's just in that hostile world but wants to be in that kind world, what would you say to them?
I would say to be gentle and kind to the experience itself, and to really, really look for something to be grateful for. Something that you can allow yourself to feel the gratitude will open your heart space so that you can enter into that heart space. And when you enter into that heart space, you'll get to the place where nothing can disturb you, and then you'll be able to tune into your own inner guidance. And then you can start looking at what is serving me and what isn't serving me. And then that's where the real amazing magnificence is hidden, is in your heart. And all you have to do is quiet all the chatter that's going on in your head to get into that heart space. And don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not worthy of your heart space. You
Yeah.
are worthy of a loving and magnificent life, and you are worthy of being the true self that you are. And you've just veered off, you've just stepped away, and you can always come back. Look how far I stepped, and I came back.
And me too. I was bedridden, right? And I had to learn how to love myself and honor myself. And once you do, it's total freedom to show up in the world as you, you know? So be gentle with yourself. You are love. That's your truth. Yeah. So thank you so much. Oh, mwah. I just
Thank
love
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I'll put all the links to connect to Karen and to her coloring book and her song, and I'll have so many links. If you have any questions, just contact me at
Yeah.
Susan B at partnersatplay.ventures. And Karen, what is your email if should anybody want to reach out to you?
Oh, the best one is info at Global Kindness TV. Anything, actually, anything that you want to find is at the hub of globalkindnesstv.org. And
Okay.
all my coloring books, all my books, all my music, everything is on that website. So you can just go and have a fun little exploration. And, you know, you can get the coloring books for your family. And when you color together, you actually start to get into that heart space together. Because when you're actually coloring, you're opening new neural pathways in your brain. And you're actually starting to bring in that energy of clearing the cortisol and raising the endorphins. So you're actually starting to be a mindful practitioner by coloring.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. So we might
So
have to
get the
do,
coloring book for yourself, for
I'm
your
gonna
inner
get the
child.
color, I'm gonna get the
Yeah.
coloring book.
And when you and see another thing that's really great is when you color before you have to do a public speaking or before you have to do something that you have any kinds of nervous anxiety or just a little bit of energy that maybe you aren't your taxes, right? You don't want to do your taxes. A lot of us don't want to look at that and have to deal with the finances. So you do your coloring first, and then you actually are in a very open and really calm and a very peaceful energy. So that this is why I teach the kids if they have to study for a test to color first, because this gets them into the part of their brain that helps them to remember and retain information.
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I know that we'll connect again because we're
Yeah,
meant to collaborate, co-create, and
yes.
cooperate.
I
So,
love to have you on Spirituality Gone Wild. I'd love to have you
oh,
on as a guest
I would
on the
love
Global
that.
Kindness Show.
I would love that. I would love
Yeah,
that. I so honor you and everything you do. Much love and light to you, and I'm
love and
here
light
to
to you.
support you. So thank you. Mwah.
Love and light to everyone. Thank you. Keep shining. Bye.
Bye.